Hello everybody and welcome back to the Immune System Crusade. I'm Dr. Tyrone Mincey and we're still talking about 10 steps that you can use to boost your immunity against COVID-19 and other types of bacteria and pathogens. Today we're going to talk about one very important step that can impact all others, and that is step number 8, support B cell white blood cells. And B stands for bone, and a B cell is a very special type of cell that has one very important job that we'll talk about in the next step 9. But for now, we need to know what we can do to help these cells do really well. Remember, when we started in previous steps that we talked about, this is the outside of the body and this is the inside. If you haven't watched those steps, it's important because each of these steps plays a different role in improving your immunity against invaders. Well, now we're on step 8, and you see the B cells are all the way down here, and they're a type of white blood cell. We're not going to go into greater detail on that, except that you need to know that these cells come from bone, and they're one of the most important cells to your immunity, and they communicate with the vigilant white blood cells here when an infection comes. And they do lots of important work for us. So action step number 8. B cells, since it's a type of white blood cell, could be evaluated on a routine blood test. Just the white blood cells in general as a part of a wellness protocol. And so you want to consult your team and make sure that the blood work is in good shape all the time, not just during a pandemic or when there's an infectious agent about, to make sure that things are going in the right direction. Get a tissue mineral analysis. A tissue mineral analysis is the gold standard for the detection of metals, toxic metals, and minerals in the human body. And it's very simple. It can be, hair can be used, nails can be used, but it will tell you a lot about your mineral status. Why do we care about minerals? Well, minerals are important to help B cells. In 1999, the U.S. military, there's a department that does some research. They did military strategies for the sustainment of nutrition and immune function in the field, because they wanted to study what would happen with soldiers in the field. And it's very important for a soldier to have as good immunity as possible when they're out in the elements. And one of the things they discovered in this study is that trace minerals play a very important essential role in normal function of different white blood cells, but B cells also. And that the trace minerals also were antiviral in themselves. They would somehow break down and inhibit or stop or destroy pathogens just by being present. Well, the American diet is lacking substantially in trace minerals, and even when we try to have an organic diet, many of those foods are grown on soils that are depleted. And as a result, we end up being depleted of trace minerals. In fact, we can take vitamins for a very long time, but if there are no minerals to go along with the vitamins, then we probably won't get very good results. I'm sure you're familiar with minerals. Some of the more popular minerals that we hear about are magnesium and calcium and zinc. These are considered minerals that are needed in larger quantities. We're talking about trace minerals. And trace minerals are those minerals that are found in very minute quantities in the blood. And if they're there in too much of a quantity, can actually become a problem or a toxin. So a tissue mineral analysis will give us information about the minerals that are there in large quantities, like calcium and magnesium, but also will give us information about minerals that are there in very small quantities. So you need to make sure, as your action step number 8, in addition to these first two steps, you need to make sure that you consume enough trace minerals. Now, where can you get trace minerals from? Trace minerals are found generally in fruits and vegetables, but in herbs they're found. And in some of the seaweeds you'll find trace minerals, and they can also be taken as a supplement. But they're generally found in plentiful amounts in the plant kingdom and water type foods such as kelp and seaweed and sea moss. These do contain, and they're popular, they contain trace minerals, And there are also newer things on the market as a source of trace minerals. Seawater, sea salt contains trace minerals, which is one of the reasons why you would use it. But there are supplements that we have put together also that have these trace minerals, and a good balanced mineral and herb-rich diet would be extremely helpful. And of course, getting with your team to understand what nutritional supplements might be right for you would be an awesome thing to do. So that's it for step number 8. Support B cell white blood cells, which is going to be the 8th step all the way down in your barrier to protection against viruses and bacteria and other types of attackers or pathogens. And you know what to do now. Go out, make sure that you replenish minerals because you run out of those periodically, and stay well. I'm Dr. Tyrone Mincey. That's step number 8. Join us for step number 9.